All right, so the Cleveland Cavaliers just won their fifth straight game of the season, bringing their record now to 5-1. Now, if you watch my predictions video, you know I had this team somewhere around the fifth or the sixth seed, and they're looking like they're going to exceed those expectations. I have no problem, saying when I'm wrong, but they look like they're going to be probably at least a top four seed. Majority of these wins aren't necessarily impressive. They're games that they most likely should have won anyway, with the exception of the overtime win the other night against the Boston Celtics, which is a great game. But I will say these games have been impressive from the standpoint that their starting point guard Darius Garland has not been there, who I think will be a 20-10 guy at the very least, for the next 5 to 6 years. Eventual All NBA type of guard. He's not been there for majority of this. I believe he got hurt opening night, in a loss that they only lost by like 3 points to the Raptors. Um, there have been a few bright spots from this team. Well, I mean, I say a few, a lot of bright spots, kind of in between, like here and there. But the main bright spot of this team has really been Donovan Mitchell. I think that's pretty obvious. One of the biggest pickup of the offseason. He's been sensational. He's usually really good in the regular season, but he's just showing that it doesn't matter what type of system you put him in. It doesn't matter who you put him around. He's going to play exceptionally well. He scored 30 at least 30 points in every game except one this season, which it wasn't really needed for him to score 30. So I think that's why he didn't really get that point total. But outside of that, he's gone for 41 against the Celtics, 38 tonight against the Knicks, 37 against the Wizards, put up 32 in a blowout against my Bulls. He's been out of this world. I think that trade, they absolutely won that trade. I think everybody knew that from the jump, but he's making it blatantly obvious right now. And honestly, man, I'm really scared for the Eastern Conference for this team because if they're doing all of this without Darius Garland, there's no telling what's going to happen once he gets back. I think the potential is limitless for this team when he gets back. Allowing Donovan Mitchell to rest a little bit more on possessions, giving them another weapon that you really have to account for. Right now, it's really just Donovan Mitchell. Karis LeVert went off the other night with this in the win against the Celtics, but outside of that, he hasn't been that great. But his ability to get hot on a night is going to be important as well when Darius Garland gets back. He can run with that second unit and really keep the offense afloat. And of course, they have the two big guys down low and Evan Mobley and Jared Allen. Jared Allen has played great this season. Evan Mobley, not so much. Looking like a bit of a sophomore slump, but I have faith that he'll get back on track. His game isn't really one that would warrant a really long slump. He's a lot of around the rim type stuff. He looks like he's been working on a over the shoulder post fade that I think will start to fall at some point. So I'm not really worried about him. He's still there defensively, which is most important. And again, I think that offense is going to come around. Oh, and I forgot to mention, just even off the bench, Kevin Love. Kevin Love gave them, I want to say, like 20 plus points tonight. He was on fire. He can give you that kind of spark off the bench. If they don't trade him, he'll be valuable come playoff time. He's great leadership on the team, great depth that is still there for this team. They're really scary, man. If I was any team in the East, I would not want to see this team in the playoffs. They can match up just about any way. If they want to go small, quote unquote, they can put Jared Allen at the five, put Kevin Love at the four. Keep those two wings. Maybe they go a Coro, Karis LeVert. They have offense. They have shooting. They have guys who really don't get minutes that could get minutes on other teams. I like Jetty Osmond, guys like that. Coro doesn't play as much as people thought he would. He's a great defensive player. This team is going to surprise some people. I'm thinking they'll probably have a run similar to kind of how the Hawks had, and kind of not come out of nowhere and make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, but a very quick turnaround, and a very quick success. And usually in the NBA and in sports in general, you kind of got to go through some heartbreak, and then you kind of triumph and break through and what do you call it? You know, bounce back essentially. You feel that heartbreak, and now you're like, all right, now I felt that. I don't want to feel that anymore. We're gonna go on and win. I think they might skip some steps here. I think they might just vault themselves all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals this year, depending on matchups, and then especially because it's kind of wide open right now. The Sixers look in disarray. The Nets look like they might not even make the playoffs. So that's two spots up top where a lot of people thought might have been locked up that aren't going to be locked up. So I'm excited to kind of watch this team for the rest of the season. Looking forward to what they're gonna have in store, especially when Darius Garland gets back. I can't wait to see what the team looks like with him. You know, for any type of time because he got hurt very young with the eye injury and has been out since. But can't wait to see what they do the rest of the season. I'll be sure to come back and update and talk about them when he does get back. Until next time, appreciate y'all for watching.